Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Listed Interviews. I'm Rosalind, along with my wonderful co-host, Sue, Rashida, Kelly, and Jay. We have a wonderful guest on here again for the second time. We are more than happy and honored to have Big Ced Thornton. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Woohoo!
Long time no see.
Thank you. Hi.
How's 2022 treating you so far?
I mean, it sent me to Miami so far, so I'm good.
So you're doing good, yeah. Yes. Thanks for coming back on. We really appreciated the last time you were here. We had a good time talking to you. You dropping some gems, some knowledge, some great stories. So we are glad you are back on.
We're here
Thank you
for
for
more.
inviting me again.
Yes.
I just ate some popcorn, so I don't want it to be sticking in my teeth and y'all see it. So excuse me.
Oh, okay. You're good. You're good. You are good.
Gotta make sure it's out there.
Yeah.
You're all good.
Your pearly whites look good.
You're good.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm ready.
yes. Okay, cool. So you had a great trip to Miami, had a good time, relaxed, all that good stuff?
I wouldn't say great trip, but it was relaxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the trip,
Yeah, anytime you're down in Miami, that's not
I was
a
only
bad
there
thing.
I was only there for 3 days, so I mean,
Yeah.
but I got away. So
Right. Yeah, that's what happens when you're busy like you are,
the cops and the cops didn't catch me this time, so I'm good.
Listen to you.
Oh yes, that's always a good thing.
Yes. So let's get started because I have a couple of things that off the top of my head that I wanted to ask you because I thought about you with this with the Super Bowl. Did you make it to the Super Bowl? Because I know you are, here, there, and everybody know. Did you watch it?
I only watched I watched the halftime show and the TV was on to the end of the game.
Okay, gotcha. So
watching it, I don't know, but it was on.
Okay, so did you actually heard the halftime show? You heard it?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
I definitely tuned in.
Okay, so what did you think about with what they say? I think as well the hip hop royalty, hip hop legends, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Eminem, and then you had Kendrick and of course Mary J. Queen of hip hop soul, and then 50 came in for a little guest spot. What do you think about the show?
50 dropped in, literally.
Right.
But no, it was an enjoyable show. I definitely enjoyed it, and of course you wanted more, but it's only halftime, so you can't expect too much. Right. And it was like 12 artists on stage, so it's not like they could perform like 3 songs each. So
right.
But I enjoyed it. I appreciated it, especially being that I came up at the same time that they came up. So it's definitely a good sight to see because of the icons that appeared before them in previous years. Mm-hmm. So for hip hop to be represented in such a way, and like authentic hip hop, not like Vanilla Ice or
right.
More so, somebody that has actually been to jail.
Yeah.
But
you right.
That's not hip hop, though.
Right.
Excuse me for that. But I definitely appreciated it. Appreciated it.
I know where you're coming from. Yeah, I thought it was a good show too, but it made me think about you when I found out you were coming back on because I said, I wanted to see what your thoughts were on the show because I liked it. I don't know about everybody else if you all liked it, but I was like, it'll be a good question to see what you thought. Like you said, since you got into the game, it's like you were on the same time they did, maybe even a little bit before. You are what?
Older.
A legend, legend in your own right in hip hop. Mm-hmm. So
So did you peep how like Dr. Dre kind of had it like all set out? Dr. Dre been working on this for like a year, and then luckily it didn't get shut down from COVID. Luckily, early on, before he even finished the whole thing. But what do you think about the musical side of like how Dr. Dre sonically put it all together for the viewers and the people there?
Is that why he got divorced? Because he worked too much putting this together?
Yeah, I guess
Yeah,
so.
that's the reason. That's the reason why she stepped away from all that money.
Right.
She took all his. But I'm glad he got some money because she about to follow his bread. She get more than Juanita Jordan did.
He was going through all that at the same
Yes.
time. So
Yeah.
Crazy.
But Dre has always been like ever since the Chronic. I mean, not the Chronic. The 2001, like that album, like that was like to me that was like the best sonically produced, mastered album like in hip hop history, and he even beat some of the classic like rock and R&B records because, like, he took the time to actually, get the sound right. And even if you listen to it today, the sounds are so clear. So I knew he was gonna have that on. I knew if nothing else, that was gonna be a great thing because, historically after he did that album, like anything that he touches, it comes out great. It could be a shitty record, excuse my language. It could be a shitty record, but it's gonna sound good sonically.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's a good thing about Dr. Dre, and especially having that. And the thing is, he came out of his own pocket because I know he wanted to have that greatness and to be put down in history as having one of the greatest halftime shows ever is definitely. I'm pretty sure he had that in mind as well. Not just for hip hop, just in general.
Just in general,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't beat Prince, but Prince is Prince.
Prince is
so-
Prince.
Yeah.
Right.
Prince is
Yeah,
Prince,
I was-
right,
I was-
exactly.
Can't
Yep.
beat Prince.
I was
Prince
Yeah.
is Prince.
And I
It's
think
like
Michael
Mike is
too
Mike.
was up there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael. I would say Michael.
It's
Mhm.
like
I guess
But it was
Beyonce
good.
too.
I see you rolling your eyes with that, but yeah, Prince. There's
Beyonce.
I love Prince. So that Prince.
Yep. Can't go wrong
Wherever
there.
Prince was at, he was probably like, "This is." It was good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything was just like on point. It really was. The dancers. I mean, it was good. I like you said, I wish it was a little bit longer because it was too short. 12 minutes is like should go so fast,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a tour being planned now. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that would
Especially
make
being
sense.
Especially that COVID is not as harming as it has been. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Putin took that away.
Right. Yeah.
Putin took it
There you
away.
go. Yep.
Yeah, we're going. Yeah. That's all I got to say. But yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
that
there
is
was a controversy though after the show, fans saying that they wish the game was on the show. They felt like he deserved to be on there, but he himself said like he's okay with him not being there, and he's happy that whatever was there. But fans was kind of outraged, saying the game should have been on there because they were all kind of coming up at the same time. And
I mean, probably like the 7 people that complained. But you have to you have to realize the thing is the Super Bowl is on a global level.
Yep.
The game might be popular in the States, might be popular in California, and yes, he's from Compton, but hit the name recognition. Now 50, the people are like, well, 50's from New York or Mary J's from New York, but they're still recognizable. And
there you go.
If 50 was part of Dre's legacy, and I mean, Mary being Mary, I think that it made sense for Dr. Dre to have one inclusion of an R&B artist, and Mary was the perfect pick. So I think that the only people that complained about that was Kelly and her friends. No, I'm just joking. But I think that like I said, I think that of course he has to say he's okay with it because like he can't look like he's bitching, but at the same time, like I said, he is from Compton. It would have made sense, but you also have to realize that 50 and the game had beef over the years.
Yep, that's true. That's a
The
good
game
point.
got kicked out of G Unit, and I'm pretty sure
That's right.
And the game has recently said that Kanye West has done more for him than Dr. Dre has.
Yes.
So obviously, there's still a little anger
Tension
towards
going on.
Dre. And so it wouldn't have made sense for for him to give the game that when over the years the game has been throwing shots here and there, a little bit bitter, understandably bitter, but at the same time, like 50 right now, as far as Hollywood, as far as TV right now, producers, like he's one of the top ones in the game right now, just with the Power franchise in itself.
Exactly.
So he's definitely recognizable, and he's all over social media, and like he's great at what he does.
running
his
this
contract
for a
is
while.
Petty.
his contract ends in September for Stars, and whatever he's getting paid now, other networks are looking at him,
Waiting
and
for
Stars is either gonna have to double, triple, or do whatever it takes. But like
Yep.
he might become the best. Like it was maybe Will Smith and even Queen Latifah, even Ice Cube, as far as the rapper that made a big mark in within TV. But it's 50 right now because nobody's beating 50. Queen Latifah's doing great with The Equalizer, but
Right.
that's just one show. Now she's done things over the years, but 50 has actually taken a franchise,
Yep.
one show, and already he has 4 spinoffs, probably got like 7 more planned. And then he has the big meats thing. So it's like he also him and Mona Scott, they have a series that they're doing, unsolved hip hop deaths. I've got the exact name of the thing, but
oh, I didn't know he
Yeah.
was part of that. I
Yeah.
watched the show.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
no. It's a new thing that's about to come up. I've got,
Okay.
I know the name of it, but I reported it on Black Enterprise, so that's the only reason I know. But I think 50 is gonna rise even higher. I thought it was gonna be Ice Cube. Will Smith got it locked as far as like movies and stuff like that, and he has a whole umbrella. But I think with 50 specifically, with the, he can expand. Like he can be the hip hop Shonda Rhimes.
Exactly.
realistically. So
Yeah.
so it makes sense. I mean, if I was Dre, 50, I'm pretty sure 50's made him more money. 50 is a household name. And I mean,
50 million.
There's a lot of rappers in Compton. I mean, you're just not going to pick them just because they're from Compton. I mean, actually, the only one that's from Compton was Kendrick Lamar. And that makes sense.
I love his performance.
Of
His performance is great.
Yeah, he was great.
Lamar.
Oh, that dancing, that choreography. Woo, I was just like, oh my goodness.
He's about to get into it.
Yeah, he was tight though.
Yeah, it was very tight. Yeah.
We ain't seen him perform in 2+ years. We ain't seen him on a world stage like that in over a year and a half. So it was right to put Kendrick
he came
up there.
out and he did his thing. Yeah, exactly.
Very Black militantish, and I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it, and it gave him, I call it, another platform.
Yeah. So what do you think said about Snoop, about him acquiring Death Row? What do you think about that?
I think that's hot, and I think that I mean it makes sense, and I think he's going to do a good job because one, he's been doing it for years and still doing it, and he might be, outside of like very few, he might be the only rapper that basically, actually no, he might be the only rapper that's had a gospel album, a reggae album. I wouldn't be surprised if he put out a rock album. So it's like, and he's still doing it. He's probably the most recognizable hip hop artist worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
He might not be the most popular, but he's the most I'm pretty sure he can go anywhere and people know that's Snoop Dogg.
Yep.
I think you have a good argument for other rappers like Jay-Z or whoever, but Snoop just has that universal, I mean, he's done everything and I'm pretty sure he has more to do. And in reality, even in industry standards, he's still young.
Yeah.
Because look at Quincy Jones, still 80, still doing things. So it's like, and Snoop is 50, so that means if he's trying to do a Quincy Jones, he's still got 30 more years ahead of him. So it's like, he's already involved in NFTs, cannabis.
That's right.
The spirits, it's like his portfolio is so diverse where he can't lose. If he stumbles, but he can't lose. And taking over Death Row Records, as he stated, he does consulting for Def Jam right now. And I read something just today where he said that Def Jam didn't want him as an artist. They only wanted him as an executive, which is still good as well. But he's like, so when the Death Row opportunity came up, he's like, as an artist, like he wants his own thing anyway, and it makes sense to basically go back home.
True.
And just to be connected to Death Row is like, I mean, what artist has ever, except maybe Jay-Z, but the thing with Jay-Z is that they started. Now, Snoop started with Death Row, but he wasn't Death Row.
Right.
But it was Dre, Suge, and Harry O. But with Jay-Z, it was Jay, Biggs, and Dame. So Jay-Z was always an owner in that aspect. Snoop started as an artist. So for him to make that 360 and now he's an owner and he's an artist. So it's like you put out his own record. So it's like, you can't like that. That's a great move for him. And like everything is working out for him now. Well, except that case that was thrown at him, right before the Super Bowl. But
I heard about that.
He's doing
my God.
Martha Stewart. He's doing his Martha Stewart stuff, and she loves her some Snoop.
Yeah.
But she's been high a few times messing with him.
Yep. So
yeah. Well, hopefully, that is resolved. You know what I mean? Because we see how some things can go left when it comes to stuff like that. And hopefully it won't. But
I think it's a money grab.
Right.
I think it's a money grab, and the only reason
why I think so too. I really do. I really do.
I don't victim shame. I don't, play on anybody's situation, but I always feel that like even if it's years later, like if you go straight to the lawyers as opposed to straight to law enforcement, it's something there. There's something that you're trying to do, because and some people do it so that way they can get, like they said, they try to negotiate, and I guess she was being greedy. And the thing is, a lot of people, they file lawsuits not necessarily to win, but to get something out of it.
Right.
So you have, there's a lot of cases that we don't hear about because they'll file that lawsuit. So it's like, okay, we can give this person $100,000, or we can take it to court and spend $200,000.
Right.
So it's like sometimes you got to just be like, here.
Yep. Give them money.
So that's how it works. That's how it works.
But do you think that? Do you think that like every other week? I swear, this seems quite often. Chris Brown is always in the news with someone suing him over some BS.
That's a different situation.
No. But I get you, but for real. I mean, look, he's talented. But you know what I mean? Like all the time, he's always in someone's trying to say, oh well, he hit my car. Well, he stepped on my foot. Like, what?
No, but the difference between Chris Brown and basically anybody else is that Chris Brown, because people, like I've had this discussion even recently with people like, oh, people are still stuck because of the Rihanna thing. And I'm like, no, people are stuck on the fact that he's been doing ignorant shit since. If you continue to have a pattern and like your peoples allow you to do it, no one is stopping you. And it keeps coming out different things and different people in different situations. You got to look within. And if you don't have people around you to say, yo, cut this bullshit out, or you don't keep those people around you, when you do the stupid shit, it's going to come to you. Because another thing, especially within entertainment, specifically with hip hop, I could be the artist. I can have ignorant friends do ignorant shit. And guess what? It's all going to come on me anyway.
There you go. Yep.
And this is the reason why you have certain artists you'll never hear anything about, because they don't allow the bullshit. You have people that make the attempts, but you'll never hear about it because one, the image is probably squeaky clean. Now I'm pretty sure, like I'm going to use Trey Songz as an example because, like that came out of nowhere, and no one would anticipate it from somebody like him because he doesn't have that reputation. But at the same time, if you have 17 different people saying, the same thing at different times, like, and like I said, I know, I hate that. Like I said, I never, now that's not to say that none of it is true or any of them are lying. The only thing I'm saying is that sometimes people don't realize that, you're always a target when you're in that position. And if you do the right thing, you never have to worry about that. Even if you do the right thing and they come at you, you're always going to be covered. And that's the reason why you never hear about a lot of other artists, because their team got shit covered, even if they're doing things the wrong way. I don't know if y'all watched what's that show? Ray Donovan. Yeah, have y'all ever seen Ray Donovan? I mean, this was like when the show first started. Okay. I think it was the first episode, maybe, where the guy's a basketball player. Ray Donovan, whatever his name is his handler, and the girl is in the room, and he's telling him, whatever you do, don't like he's basically telling him what not to do. Turns out that he slipped, and like she ends up getting she gave him oral sex, used the deposit in her mouth.
Oh Lord!
Oh God!
So that way,
I remember that episode.
and be impregnated. That's
Yep.
like a thing that happens. I just found out that Drake is being sued because of a young lady who tried the same thing. And what Drake did was, I think
Hot
for bleach,
sauce.
and
Is it
for
hot?
bleaching a thing, whatever.
No, he did
hot
hot
sauce,
sauce. Yeah, hot
The
sauce.
hot sauce. And
Yeah,
hot sauce.
hot sauce. I'm sorry, hot sauce. I
Yeah.
was for bleach, but hot sauce. But now she's suing him. You're suing him because you tried to get pregnant with his
Yes.
sperm and
Yep.
try to jerk him out of millions. That's
Mhm.
extortion.
It sure is.
That's a federal crime. So I'm like, I'm hoping that Drake reverses it and sues her, even
he
if
sure
the case
does.
is dropped.
Yep.
Because like I said, it's going to deter a lot of these, I'm not
Groupies.
gonna call them women. It's going to deter a lot of these
Groupies.
folks from doing these things. And the thing
Yeah,
is, the only
them
thing-
over there, them over there.
but that's the reason why I say that, it goes both ways when it comes to this, because you have a lot of artists that's out there doing dumb shit. No
Yes.
doubt.
Right.
In
Yep.
fact, I'm pretty sure 80% of them are doing dumb shit.
Mhm.
But some of them that do the dumb shit knows how to make the dumb shit go away.
Right. Right.
Then you have Chris Brown. And the
Mhm.
thing is,
I'm trying to get
the
a
only
brother
reason why I say it like that,
Come on, man. I'm trying to get a brother
No.
for that.
the only reason why I say that is because, come on, it's years later, and
He's
he's
still
still.
doing dumb shit.
I just wrote an article today in Black Enterprise where his former housekeeper is suing him for $50 million
Yes.
because of the
The
dog attacking
dogs.
her.
Yep.
Dog.
And the thing is, from what I understand, and of course, there's always two sides to the story. From what I
Mhm.
understand, like they basically covered everything up based on the lawsuit filed, and this woman was attacked, and it's like, he could have solved that right away.
There you go.
But
Yep.
like covering it up, euthanizing the dogs, and doing things like that's dumb shit because
Mhm.
like it's like some things you can't cover up,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about when I say that, because I mean, I kind of gotta watch it because I'm in the industry and I might have an opportunity to interview him one day, and this might come back to me and be like, yeah, you said this, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're right, I did say it. You're right.
You do
Interview's
some dumb
not gonna
shit.
happen. So
Right, but you're right. I do think, like you said there's people around him or other artists that you never hear about. I'm definitely not dating myself, but just a little bit. You never hear about Nas having issues like that, or Rakim or Care. You never hear nothing.
Mhm.
Now MC Shan, I think they took away his Instagram because they
he's straight crazy. He actually lived in my building in the Bronx several years ago. Well,
really?
I mean, I maybe like maybe about 20 years ago. I used to see him
Oh,
in my
wow.
mother's building.
Oh wow.
Yeah, people. Yeah, someone took his Instagram from him. They had to because he was just a little bit too. That pseudo home was not. That pseudo home, him in the pseudo home was not working. That gas station wine was not working for him.
But like,
Oh my God.
I did hear in an interview, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure it was Will Smith, that he said that he actually has a whole team of lawyers just particularly for people trying to sue him and his family, So I feel like celebrities just deal with this all the time. We just don't hear about it because they actually have a team. They're on a payroll. They get paid all the time to make sure that people that are just making up stuff that they don't get hurt, and they get dealt
But they
with,
also
so.
don't do stupid shit. I don't
Yeah.
think Will Smith is out there slinging his dick, excuse my language again, just willy-nilly, and figures he can get away with it.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like you have artists like that, and like
Jada,
I said,
on the other hand, just kidding.
but some people does have motive. They're like, how do we not know that Chris Brown's house or the housekeeper wasn't doing anything to promote the dog?
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to look for the
There's
other
always
side of the
something
story.
going
Big
on.
Sam.
I don't like you, Sue. I don't like
Thank
you,
you,
Sue.
Sue.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Sue, you're my girl. I
I'm just
found it.
joking.
Thank you.
No, but I'm saying, like, again,
No, and that's legitimate. That is a legitimate point. But the thing is, from the outside looking in, even if she did something based on the papers and based on the fact that when the police officers went back for the dogs were already dead.
We're gone.
So it's like sometimes it's circumstantial. But more than likely, with the reputation that he has and the fact that somebody's accusing him of something like on a weekly basis, you can, and the thing is, and I know like with the court system, sometimes they say they can't allow prior bad acts. but that's what the media is for. You don't even have to
Yep.
bring it up. You know, it's like you do dumb things. You know, you're going to a club. You know, there's going to be 6,000 people in this club, and then you do stupid shit in the
Yep.
club.
I
If
agree.
you do it before you get in the club, one thing. If you do it out when you get out the club, another thing. But if you're doing stupid shit when there's people looking or there's
Yep.
cameras around,
Mm-hmm.
there's a big chance that somebody's going to
Let's
see it.
see. Yep.
And
Oh yeah.
you know, and that's
Mhm.
my thing. And it's like, and like I said, not to be picking on Chris Brown, but it's not like he just started in the industry 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. You're right.
He
You're right.
started when he was like 14, 15. And what,
Mhm.
he's
Yeah,
like
he-
60 now?
Yep.
Yeah, he been in here, man.
I mean, like
Breezy know the
to
way.
be
He
to be
been in
fair,
here.
he has calmed down a lot. Like, you know, he has his girlfriend,
Not
his
enough.
fiance, he has a child. Like he's
He's
Not
still singing his
enough.
dope.
I don't know
He's
what you
still
guys
singing
talking
his-
about. I
Hey.
didn't see any headlines about him lately. I
He's
haven't
still
seen a
singing his
headline.
dick. He's still singing his dick like
Well, no, there was actually one a couple of weeks ago that came out
I
about
mean,
somebody saying something about he raped him or something. I think it came out a couple of weeks ago. I don't know where I was reading it on. It's
man,
online somewhere.
he been calm, he been good, but in the last 3 to 4 months span, he has been accused from
Mhm.
2 separate accounts of things in
Mhm.
2022.
Hmm.
Stuff that
Yeah.
occurred in 2017, 2018, or one of those
This
years.
is what
that-
I don't get. I don't get when people accuse like celebrities of say, "Oh, this celebrity did this to me in 2008," and it's like
Right.
2022 now. I
Right.
don't
Yeah.
get that
Yeah.
part.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not trying to. You know, this is a
Make
very
them like-
sensitive
Trey Songz-
subject.
Trey
I know
Songz is
things
being
happen to
sued.
people.
Trey Songz is being sued for $20 million, I believe.
Does he even have that
Mhm.
much?
No,
I don't think so.
Trey is not worth it.
Trey
So,
Songz.
No.
I
I
hope
don't think
he's
it's
all right.
residuals from Texas Chainsaw Massacres that are that much.
in that movie. Vic said, I had a question for you. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, LL Cool J. Do you think that was valid for him to be inducted? You think that was just kind of a pass to say, hey, I'm a big LL fan, so you know, I know his wife got hands.
Listen, so you're a big LL fan and you're black. It's LL Cool J, not LL Cool. You say it like you're white. Stop it. No, I'm just
Wow.
messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
So-
Some respect on his name.
But listen, no. If there's anybody in hip hop that deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, is LL Cool J, and I don't know how they do the nominations and things of that nature, because you have people that's in there that don't even deserve to even be in a hall, let alone the Hall of Fame. But I think sometimes when some of these things are being decided, like when VH1 used to do the hip hop honors, I know that way they used to do it is based on what the current audience would vibe to. Because if you're talking about Beastie Boys, people are like, huh?
Oh, I love Beastie
Who's
Boys.
Beastie Boys? But I'm saying, but people wouldn't know, so it would be a low turnout or viewership, because you got to throw some people in that's going to mix up with older as well as newer. Now I don't understand the LL Cool J. I just said what you said.
See?
The LL
What you
thing.
about me? Mhm.
The LL thing. Where, like, I mean, I came up with LL. It's like we're the same age. He's just a little bit richer, but him being inducted the same year as Jay-Z is kind of crazy, you know, because he has such a head start with Jay-Z. But at the same time, Jay-Z has done so much as well. And like I said, there's definitely other artists that deserve to be in it. But I mean, that's the way they've been doing it for years. I mean, Tina Turner just got in the Hall of Fame recently within the past
Right.
couple. So it's like, you know, there are people that definitely deserving that's not there yet. And I can understand when people are bitter when that happens. But there's a reason why they do it the way they do it, and they're not going to tell us. And I'm never
Do
going to
do
be
you
in
do you
there.
think Janet deserved it?
I didn't hear you.
Janet, do you think Janet deserved it when she
Jen
got
deserved it after she played Penny on Good Times.
Mm,
So yeah, definitely.
Oh my
Definitely.
goodness.
One of my white girlfriends was like, I don't believe it. She don't have any hits, and you know, she hasn't done nothing for music. I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
Oh,
the hell
where
with
has
her
she
brother,
been?
Janet Jackson?
If it wasn't for Janet Jackson, you'd be
There'd
like,
be no
Beyonce
Sierra.
who?
Right. Thank you.
No
Because
Sierra.
Beyonce's whole career is based on Janet Jackson and what she did,
Mhm.
because Janet Jackson was probably the first artist outside of her brother, of course, that was able to sing and dance and make it a whole big thing
Yep.
and a whole big production.
Mm-hmm.
Artists back then, they dance, caught their breath, and then sang.
Mm-hmm.
Michael and Janet, I mean, Michael was just an alien, so he was definitely different. But at the same
Right.
time, he comes from the James Brown era and all the Temptations,
Mhm.
where that's what they were doing. But modern times, people weren't doing it in that fashion, like
Yep.
in the fast pace, I should say.
Mhm.
Because
Right.
you know, but when Janet did it, like she took it to a level where any like Madonna had to step her game up. Like
Mhm.
any Whitney didn't have to because she had that voice.
Voice.
Whitney could
Yep.
just stand on stage and be like, ah, what? I'm
Yep.
not moving. Ah, and people like, ah, okay, stay there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
like Beyonce, I'm pretty sure she studied Janet. Whereas now that she's doing what she's doing, because people are like, she's a better singer than Janet. Maybe, but she's not a better performer than
I
Janet.
agree. I agree.
And
I'm
the
not
thing
the
with,
biggest fan. Yeah.
but the
Mhm.
thing is, what Beyonce has done is she's perfected what Janet has started. And now Beyonce has made
Yep.
it standard where now these other artists have to abide by Beyonce's standard, which is kind of crazy because some of these artists don't even know who Janet Jackson is.